Hey guys, this is the Ranger for MMO Attack, and we are taking a look at Kyrie from Rise of Immortals. As always, there is a link down below if you want to check out the game. Essentially, Kyrie, if we jump into the skill tree, is a DPS class that dies fairly easily as far as I'm aware, but can be hell of annoying. The annoyance tends to come from one of her abilities that we will explain later, but essentially she's physical weapon based as far as I'm aware. She doesn't really use too much magical base damage, so you're mainly going to want to stack the offense and champion tree towards physical based damage. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that just increases physical damage and attack speed, which that's really what you're going to be going for, physical damage and attack speed. You're also going to want to boost movement speed quite a bit, because Kyrie needs to get around very quickly and be able to sort of just pick off fleeing people and sort of jump around into combat situations in different lanes very quickly. But let's take a look at Kyrie actually in some combat. So guys, we are in some combat with Kyrie. I say in combat, we're actually running towards combat right now. We can rush into combat a little, deal some damage here. We messed that up quite a bit, but oh well. Lazarus is a terrible opponent to get AI wise. He runs away from everything, quite literally, and annoying as hell. Now, we're going to talk about Kyrie's abilities first, because I have time to run back and get health. So Kyrie's Laceration Post, as you can see, deals physical damage and reduces movement speed and armor on the target. It stacks up to 4 times and can be cast very fast. It uses 30 mana, well 35 on next level, so it uses incredibly low mana, which means it is very much a spam the hell out of this ability. As you can see, that second ability that we used there was Shuriken Salvo, which throws 3 shurikens at the enemy. Essentially, it's great for wiping out fleeing targets and such, because, well, it's got a long range on it. As you can see, it will go in a straight line, so it can be intercepted or dodged very easily. But if they're on very low health and you're quite close, you can normally just chuck one out and get them down. Right, now, essentially, let's just bring him down. Kyrie, because of the incredibly high damage that she does, well, is very useful in go in, kill them all, and that's the end of it. Right, if we upgrade this, we get even more damage. Third ability is Rush. She rushes the target. While she's rushing, she's immune to sort of effects and that. So you can't target her while she's rushing. It's a good way to get in to combat. There is also this R ability, which charges up and then warps, impacting the target. That impact on it does take a slight charge, and it can actually be interrupted, which is a slightly bad thing about it, but as you can see, it does a huge sort of amount of damage when you actually hit into them, and it, well, completely stuns them, so they can't fight back or anything for a couple seconds, which with Kyrie, if you're upgraded because you've been playing the match for a while, well, they're going to die more than likely before they actually get out of that. So Kyrie's abilities are pretty crazy. Damn Lazarus and his invulnerability. But yeah, Kyrie's abilities are pretty damn crazy if you sort of upgrade them all and max out her items and that. She becomes very annoying to try and kill because she just does so much damage that you die so damn fast when you're in fights with her.
Is not an option.
Now, if we get back out
For
here,
justice.
there was a Lazarus nearby. Oh, see, that's the bad thing about the shurikens. We hit one of the creep, so the creep took all the damage and died, but Lazarus himself actually just stood there and didn't take a hit. Because it goes in a straight line, it can be intercepted like that. But item-wise, for Kyrie, essentially if we look down here, we have the sort of vicious edge serrated blade, I think is the first one, so let's just inform you guys that serrated blade is indeed the first part of that chain. Right, let's go for some snares and some big damage, and yeah, he's down. And look at how much health I still have. Now, beyond serrated edge, we have the Blade of Randos, which you've seen in quite a few builds now, as far as I'm aware. If you actually watched others of these, you may have watched this one first, but it is in quite a few other builds. That's because it's incredibly useful. We then have the Assassin's Dirk, which just increases armor penetration, mainly because Kyrie is physical damage, so armor penetration is very much an essential point here. We then have, I kind of like to go with D-Mizzle's popular shoes, but you can also go with others such as the bearskin boots and that for additional health regen. I like this due to the additional weapon damage, but that's my preference. Right, let's just kill Lazarus. Now, beyond that we have Ring of Shielding because it does add some defensive capabilities of Kyrie so she doesn't die so fast. As you can see, she's got very low magic resistance and that. But beyond that we have Belt of Power to sort of really ramp up defense, and the later stages of Belt of Power add attack power as well, so it really kind of pushes all out attack power with Kyrie, and it's about just end them all before they have a chance to fight back. As you can see, that went fairly fast on just kill Kyrie. I almost died because of the tower. Towers will target you if you use abilities near them and that, so that's why we almost died near the tower. But yeah, so Belt of Power, if we show you here, as you can see, adds armor penetration later on, so that is again very good. We can get up to some crazy physical weapon damage and armor penetration boosts and everything with these chains, and Kyrie fully upgraded slaughters everything so fast that it's crazy. We did have help from the tower, but as you saw, that was just a rush in. Rush doesn't do any damage, so we went with first move doing no damage. We then hit Q and W, and by the time Q had recharged again, Lazarus was dead. Which shows just how much damage you do, especially sort of in combo with a tower. Now, let's see how much damage. 175 damage on these towers. Bear in mind, most other Immortals that I tend to roll with do about 100 to 125. Kyrie just does so much damage with the towers. Lazarus rolling with invulnerability to run away, because if he didn't, he would be dead. But that is Kyrie really. That build I would very much recommend because it puts crazy damage output, and that's really what you want to get out of Kyrie. As you can see, we can just completely bring down Lazarus. Not a hope in hell of him getting out. Well, he did get out. Damn. I spoke too soon, but that's mainly because I stopped pursuing him. Now, in the meantime, that's why we stopped pursuing him, just to bring that down, because then we get big things coming through. But, yeah. Kyrie is crazy high damage, and fairly survivable, as you've seen. So, very useful character all round. Better to sort of group attack Kyrie than try and take down Kyrie alone, because Kyrie alone probably a bad plan.